I mixed this song last year, which is a song of mine called Still True. And I think it'd be a really rich exploration for all you home recordists out there. Um, that'd be fun to get into these tracks, how I recorded it, how I mixed it. I won't dwell too long on any one thing, but I thought it'd be really fun to check out. And also, like opening up an old session is just really fun, just to see where my head was at. And my workflow has changed quite a bit since then, and there were also some plugins I had to replace. But regardless, if you haven't heard the song, it might be helpful for context to go hear it. So I'll link above to it so you can go listen to it. I was going for something really lush with this, and I was thinking a lot about James Blake's recordings and how they're so the voice is so prominent, and the like the low end is so substantial. I wanted some big kind of orchestral moments with some exaggerated low end, and I have my friend Willem who contributed some trombone, and my friend Devon who contributed some organ. So there's a lot of like auxiliary instruments on this to help beef up the timbre of the track. But otherwise, it's mostly guitar and voice, but with like all these orchestral augmentations. I'll link to both of those musicians too. Willem De Koch, amazing trombone player, and Devon Yesberger is also just a phenomenal organist. So the song opens with this trombone chorale here. Also, I'm working in a Reaper here, which is why it maybe looks a little different than what you've seen. Big Reaper head. So here it is, just soloed. And then I'm going to solo dim so you can hear the other instruments faintly in the back. Really beautiful trombone chorale, just incredible. Willem was in this amazing brass ensemble called the Westerlies, and they play with the Fleet Foxes, and I keep saying the Fleet Foxes. I've gotten used to saying that. Fleet Foxes, no the. And a bunch of just other incredible musicians. So I sent him a chart, and basically he sent back a bunch of different, a bunch of different things. Like here, I think I labeled this air mouthpiece. Which is just the melody with just through the mouthpiece, and then nar, I don't know. It's faintly in the mix, but it's this kind of super distorted. It's just a really cool texture. So he sent me back a bunch of stuff like that. Me back like this whole triplet section that I love. Maybe by the shore. Super cool. And this is all going through like a really washy reverb. As you can hear, it's going through. Let's see if we can find it. So there's like a trombone reverb here, which is the Valhalla Room that I really love, through a decapitator for some saturation. I use this plugin all the time just to add some harmonics, and also you can just really tailor the sound of the plugin with this EQ section. So it's not just like a saturator, it's also this really beautiful like tone shaping section here. And the Valhalla Room, yeah, I use it all the time. I love it. Yeah. So here's just the room. And then a longer room using the vintage verb. And this is something I was doing a lot on this recording, is using different short, medium and long reverbs to get more drama and variability in the reverbs. So that's basically it for the trombone. They underpin the whole song, so they're pretty important. There's the voice.
Was it all for nothing?
And for this, oops, excuse me, I used a mid-side. So I had a ribbon that I duplicated and then flipped the phase on. That's my side sound. So you should be hearing that all on the side channel. And then my mid, that's the body of the sound.
Was it all for nothing?
Together it's like that.
Wasted every breath I took.
And then the chain here, I bounced all this down, so I actually can't remember what was before it, but on the whole folder I have this Goodhertz mid-side encoder, which is awesome. I use it all the time. I've got a pretty high pass here to just get some of the junk out of the sides, just to make sure it's not phasing out. Increase the width a little bit, and then just bumped the mids a little bit, so you get a little bit more of that sibilance and breathiness on the sides. Or sorry, just the mid. And then let's see here, what else?
Was it all for nothing?
Yeah, and that's going to this vocal room here. So that's fairly large, I guess. And then with this you can
wasted every breath I took.
So it's like early versus late reflections, basically. Really handy plugin. I can't recommend that plugin enough. As someone that records in this room, like this was all recorded here, except for the trombone and organ, but everything else was done in here. So I'm getting as dry of a sound as possible, and then essentially reamping it through these vocal rooms. And the stuff you can do now is incredible. So no shame in just using a plugin. I've got these background vocals.
All things clearly into view. Don't blush, ain't no rush. I'm shining back at you.
What else is interesting here? Oh yeah, the synths. So I made a real like synth army here. Let's check them out. So I'll play that again by itself. So this really nice kind of driven chords sequence here where I just made chords out of individual pitches. And then I had these things called stars, which I guess are those like things you're hearing, which kind of make the song for me.
Was it off?
I tried to place them so that they're always answering something. They're not just arbitrary ambient synths. They're like answering the vocal.
Was it all for nothing?
Same with this next one here.
Wasted every breath I took.
Always thinking in terms of like how it sits with the other instruments. I think around here I've got the bass drop place in here. I've also got my bass synth here. Yeah. Just kind of a sub. So that's like, I think of that as just a big old highlighter. Like I'm trying to make sure that the bass motion there is clear. And then yeah, keep your ear out for the synths, and then finally the organ is also doing a ton of heavy lifting. Let's listen to that.
Was it?
Yeah, oh my god, I love hearing this. There's a like kind of a Lutheran energy to this song. It's very chorale like, so having the organ really rips. And the way the Leslie is coming in and out is really cool too. Adds a lot of variability to the texture when it's
On his birthday.
like when you take it out, it's really noticeable.
Was it all for nothing? Wasted
that's out.
every breath I took. It's still true.
Yeah, it's a really beautiful color. Devon nailed it. And then what's doubling that melody is the 12th string. Which I wanted to get to be kind of clavy harpsichord. That's doing that, and then I've just got, electric guitar. That's the drive with a little bit of doubler for chorusing. Here's all the effects. I've got a spring, a tape echo, and that's probably all going to another room. This kind of shimmer reverb. No bass guitar on here. Something I noticed when I was digging this up was this swell reverb, which I forgot I did, but I basically just automated this based on the moment. I was using that to kind of tie the, it's the end of a phrase, so I wanted the reverb to come in and like take up more space. And yeah, I'm sending a bunch of different keys there. One nice moment that I think is towards the end of the song that might be worth looking at. Under the synths. Oh, extras. Oh, cool. Yeah, I found it. There we go. Yeah, so I used some Spitfire instruments. Yeah, nice. So that's just following the chords. And then this guy. That sounds like a startup ringtone or something. This was inspired by Larry Golding's. He has a great record called Earthshine. And this Glock. And this like cascading. Which that sounds silly, but in context.
Molly's songs and my go-to.
It's kind of cool. That happens at the end here. that's basically everything that's going on with this. Then in the master bus, I had a little bit of this Pro multiband, this Fab Filter Pro MB, which is just taking out a little bit of the harshness and the transients in this range around like 100K, and right here around like, in this mid range, I think it's like 3.5 or something. 3.1. So yeah, this was kind of where the guitar was sitting, the 12 strings, which were just a little too aggressive. So that's taming that. And then a little bit more width, actually a lot more width here in the master bus with the mid side. This is an awesome plugin, by the way, for home recording, because you can deal with a lot of like the phase stuff in the low end. You can hear what this is taking out, which any plugin that gives you this monitoring option is great. Then yeah, using this Pultec here, just adding a little bit of air. Nothing crazy. A little Studer for maybe a placebo, maybe a little bit of saturation, compression. And then my Pro L2.
Back at you.
Anyway, hope that was informative. Check out the song. I'm really happy with it. Even as it's been a couple years, it's always nice to go back and listen to something and still love it. So if you have any info on this, let me know. If you're a professional engineer and you want to dunk on me, go ahead and do that too. I love home recording. I love the idea of being able to do this at home, finding sounds at home, learning at home. I'm all about it. I'm not a professional, so don't take advice from me. But if you liked anything that you saw, try it out. Especially the arrangement. This. I'm pretty passionate about this form of arranging where it's very orchestral and bespoke, and you're thinking of combinations of instruments. So if you take anything away today, it'd be maybe more on the arranging front. Anyway, thanks for being with me. Check out the song. Talk to you soon.